GM, good evening, everyone. Let's get some music going first, and then I'll get into what we're working on tonight. A lot's happened. Let's see what we can find here for a little space exploration playlist. Let's go for it. Just gonna switch this over to my headphones here. I think this is it. Okay, so lots happened. Again, just been, I wish I stream more with this stuff. I find it sometimes I really struggle when I'm dealing with technical issues and I can't really solve them. I kind of get into this like bad groove and I just can't kind of stomach it to stream. Mostly it's just because of the focus, but also just generally, I don't know, I've always kind of found this, and maybe it's just very common when things are not going, perfect. You really do get in that bad spot where you just really, you don't want to kind of be interacting with people. You sort of solve it. But we're in a good place. So if maybe people would have maybe missed the last one, I think I got up to the end. I usually get, 99, maybe 95% of the way there. And then I kind of usually bail for the end because usually it's Photoshop and editing and uploading and all that stuff. So yeah, that's our live stream going on right now. And then let me just see if I can find. So this was the last piece called Lord of the Skies. And this has sort of been a two-part series, I guess, so far. The first one was this rocket on the launch pad from the outside. I think that was a couple days ago. I don't know if we have that one. Let me see if I can find the thread. Lots of streams. There it is. So this was kind of the precursor to this. We see the rocket kind of like getting ready to launch on the launch pad overnight. And then we did kind of it was supposed to represent a morning shot. But this is Lord of the Skies. So obviously the same rocket with the mountains in the background. You now see where we are in terms of this Cosmoport. Hey, Wolfman, how are you, man? Let me get that. It's a good reminder to get my restream chat. This is intense. Let's turn that down a bit for both you guys and me. There we go. I can't complain. It's been kind of a tough couple days trying to get some stuff done. I continue to kind of take on tougher things for these daily pieces, and I keep losing the battle. But, just got to keep moving. So I'm very kind of happy with what I'm putting out, but I'm just, not quite getting stuff done as fast as I want. So, yeah, so that was the last two pieces. And then I took on another massive thing, which was one to kind of make the landscape that this whole scene is set in, which is the Kontangri mountain range in the edge of Kazakhstan and China. Kazakhstan and China and Kyrgyzstan. And I wanted to do this shot that I've kind of been thinking about for a while, which is these shots that I've always seen from all the rocket launches that I've, watched over the years in the live stream. So if you take a peek at this, these may look familiar. These shots kind of with the cameras attached to the side of the rocket are so freaking cool. So you see like this Cape Canaveral, I think. This might be SpaceX, although it's probably Cape Canaveral. But it's kind of the same thing. It's, think like GoPro attached to the side of the camera, and depending on where it is, these are screenshots from live streams. This one might even been the Voskov rocket. But either way, kind of a similar idea. And then I had this other one, which I don't know why I didn't. Let me just upload it really quickly. Actually, maybe it ended up in Discord. See if I can find it. This one was really the inspiration for this piece, so I've been kind of working away at this for the last day and a half. Let me just send this to myself, and I'll go grab it from my chat. I'll drag it in here. There it is. So this has really been the inspiration. This is what we're going to work on tonight. So this is from the European Space Agency. I don't know which rocket this is in particular, but similar idea. And you see we've got, the camera information, the logos, and then we've got the two side-by-side pictures, one of the rocket from the kind of the GoPro view and another one from the ground. And I really liked this idea. It was a big challenge to try to do it, but this was what I kind of wanted. And I get very stubborn, and I'm like, this is what I want to do. So the good news is I think I got it nailed. So this is the current piece, unedited, just rendered. And I'm pretty happy with it, actually. I think just the whole thing kind of came together really nicely. Now, I haven't actually brought this into, Lightroom or Photoshop yet and started to edit it, because I do render these out usually very flat. And I usually manipulate them a lot in Lightroom, Photoshop, because my background is photography and trying to make them look right. So the quick question is, first of all, are these going to edit? And if they edit, then can we sort of put the background on and do the whole thing and generate some logos and stuff? So that's what we're going to do tonight, which is a little different. We're going to do Photoshop stuff. So I'll just work away. Again, if you have questions, go ahead and shoot. But for the most part, I just work and answer questions as people bring them up. Okay, so I just want to put a background on it for now. So I'm going to start with editing. Let's edit the one on the left first, and I think this is hopefully going to work. I want to do a filter, and I want to do camera raw. And then this is, if you're a photographer, you'll recognize this because this is essentially Lightroom. Let me just make sure my power tools are running. I think they are. I don't know why that's not working now. Usually I can hit a keyboard command and I can snap this screen to the stream window, but it's not working. Yeah, so basically this is, and I don't know why. This is where I hate Photoshop, but there we go. Select this one. Filter, camera raw. As a side note, I've been diving into some stable diffusion stuff because the piece that I'm doing tomorrow is supposed to use AI. And I've been kind of like, okay, I got to get a handle on this. So I've been running stable diffusion locally. And I've been looking at some interesting stuff with these connections between a tool called Krita, which is like a drawing. It's like a Photoshop alternative, I guess. It's simple, kind of like it's like a version of GIMP, but it's apparently a little bit easier to use. And there's some integrations with Stable Diffusion. I'm super pumped to try that out. Okay, so here's the image. I'm just editing a standard non-HDR image right now. So you can kind of see what we've got here. Now, I think I did make one mistake in the render, which I could fix pretty easily tomorrow. One, these are not super high res, but also I think I set the profile incorrectly. I usually do render these in, let me just double check and see if I'm imagining this. Yeah, I did. See, I set it to high contrast when normally I have it set to none. It's not that much of a difference. Usually there's a lot of dynamic range to work with. It feels like this may not have quite as much. I don't know. Something feels like slightly off about it. But anyway, we're gonna see what we can get. So obviously what I want is as much sort of nice punchy highlights down here on the actual rocket launch, and I want to pull in the rest of the scene as much as I can to something that looks fairly good. So there's no real trick to this, just photo editing, background. I guess I just sort of tweak it based on what my eye sees. And then I always add green back because one of the things with 3D renderers like blenders, they do a lot of denoising, which is good because your images usually come out pretty noisy, but the end result is that it looks almost fake because there is no noise at all. I really struggle with this because one of the things about adding noise in these 3D tools is depending on the size, of the view. Like if you're looking at it on your phone, you don't notice the grain, but if you look at it on your like laptop or desktop, you really do. So it's kind of an interesting aspect for me that I have to kind of tweak and figure out. So again, part of the challenge with this for me is letting go of the fact that like this may end up not being perfect. It may not be exactly what I want, but it's the story and it's the composition of the two images side by side that's really the critical piece here, not the individual quality of the render. But I do a lot of times say that, and then I end up going over and over again, trying to make it better. It's very interesting. Almost wish I could go to like a very kind of almost like a black and white thing. I might even try some presets here, just kind of see what kind of fun stuff you can get. I usually look at some of the cinematic presets or the futuristic ones. I almost thought about making these kind of like a vintage vibe, but this one is a really interesting one. Because I can render this out overnight in much higher res. It's so hard to know. It's like one of the things about like these pictures, like this is what I'm comparing it to, right? It's just like this super blurry photo of the rocket. It's like, but my brain won't allow it. And it's like kind of interesting. It makes me think like putting it through some type of filter to try to turn it into more of a television look. It is something I've been thinking about kind of in my repertoire of stuff, is to start to think about from an AI standpoint, like looking at like after I sort of have all the composition, rendering and texturing done, like I've been thinking a little bit about using AI for some kind of like texturing stuff. I don't know yet. I have to sort of really dive a little deeper into the whole thing. So, okay, so let's just hold this for a second. I want to test something because, yeah, okay, this is perfect. Okay, this is what I was hoping for. So if you convert this to a smart layer or whatever, stupid Photoshop thing, you can actually save your changes. Like you can turn them off and on. So there's the on and off. Versus if you just do them like, if you just do them directly to the image, you can't. Little things you learn. I'm just going to kind of kick through some of these settings. I'm curious if there's anything here that might be interesting to use. I like to see how these work. A lot of stuff, but nothing that interesting. What are the neural filters? Is this all the AI stuff? Not a big Photoshop person, so. Cool. Landscape mixers. Huh. Okay. Skin smoothing, portraits, landscape mixers, style transfers, harmonization, color transfer, colorize, super zoom, depth blur. Nope. JPEG artifacts, photo restore. I'd be kind of curious about the super zoom, just to seeing like what bringing up the resolution and then back down might look like. Kind of curious about that one in particular. I'm just going to download it. What's the wait list? Portrait generator, water logging. Oh, that's interesting. Shadow regenerator, noise reduction. Huh. Sure. I'm surprised these are not here yet. So style transfer would be interesting. I'd be curious to see what what happens with this if I was to transfer style from like an old like a screen. Again, it's not video. That's the problem, right? Like if I was doing a video, I could. Anyway, I'm just rambling. I'm just gonna edit this photo to match this one, so I can kind of get a feel for how this will look together, and then we're gonna kind of go from there. So, yeah, this is interesting. So this is basically different styles. So it doesn't really say what they are. Okay, right. So, yeah, I don't know. This is pretty stupid. There you go. Art. Okay, I don't want those, so cancel that. Okay, so now I think we can just apply. You know, I'm sure Photoshop is super simple to just. Oh, okay. Well, no. I was like, that's too easy. I'm sure there's a way to do it. That's what I just want to copy. I want to copy the filter from one to the other. Copy smart filter one layer to another. Photoshop. Hold down your Option key or Alt key on your PC while holding the key down. Click and drag the small filter. Okay. Sure. I mean, why wouldn't you just be able to select the small filter, copy and paste? Seems like a pretty obvious thing, right? So hold Alt. Did that just work? Why is that? Why can't I see it? It did work, but now I can't see the filter. Ah, here we go. Okay. Cool. I like the look. I definitely like the look of this one. This one looks good to me. This one is the detail in the smoke is not my favorite. I was hoping I could really blow out like the exposure on it, but I might have to do some like actual brush editing. But I also kind of want to crop this one in. And honestly, I'm not actually sure how to do it in Photoshop. So I'm just going to experiment. I'm thinking like I want to crop the individual image, not the crop individual layer Photoshop. Not the actual whole thing. Oh, this is the best. You can crop layers in Photoshop pressing Control plus Alt plus C. What is, like, how about just like a button? Like, why? I'm sure there's got to be a button. Why are we? Sorry, if you're new to the stream, I generally am in a war with Adobe most of the time. Okay. No, I don't want a layer mask per se. I don't really understand. Is this an ad? Okay, here we go. Sure. Select the layer you want to crop. Choose the rectangle marquee tool. Select the area to keep. Resize. Okay, well, I mean, I could have known that. I just thought there might be a different way. So, can I restrict this? 1:1. Okay, there we go. So I was kind of thinking about cropping this in just to get rid of this distortion a little bit on the bottom. I hate how when you do a selection in Photoshop, you can't move that selection later. Or you can't like resize it. Or maybe you can, I just don't know. Maybe I'm just too stupid. So yeah, I was kind of thinking about cropping this like something like that. And then probably like content aware, maybe fill this. Maybe just go maybe a little bit bigger. So maybe like that. Okay, so now that, what do I do? Invert? Do I invert and then delete it? What do you mean? Isn't that the smart? Isn't that the definition of a smart layer? Is that you can. Like, isn't that the whole point of a smart layer? And like, why not offer me a solution? Right? Okay, learn more. Okay, great. Smart object benefits. Got it. We don't care. Just how do I crop? Beautiful. Nothing like sending you. Okay, I mean I can just use a freaking mask, I guess. My God. Make my life so difficult. The problem with this, right, is now I have to resize this image and move it and make sure it's the exact same size as this one. And it looks like it lost part of the smart filter. Well, maybe not. Okay. Yeah, so just bring it right here. All right, so I think the crop's good. I don't know. I'd like to get rid of this. Maybe I'll just crop it even more. I just didn't want to lose too much of it. So how do I edit the smart filter now? Can I double click on it? That would be crazy, right? Okay, there we go. So can I get... This kind of just quickly exploring what I can, how much like actual room I have. Not that much. All right. so funny because even like the vignette now doesn't want to like do a proper vignette. It's like it wants to only do the vignette to the original pre-crop, right? Which is where it gets really weird. Okay. So how did we do this? Alt, copy. Ooh, it's a little too aggressive. Oh, because it did both. I feel like this one's really pretty good. I don't want to mess with this too much. I like the look of this one. This one, the rocket's bothering me a little bit, but I don't want to go too crazy. Okay, so let's just work on the overlays for a second here, because I want to kind of do this setup. Don't really know where to get this. I mean, I can kind of do the text myself. Plus 47 seconds would be from liftoff. So we're going to try to do this cam 1, cam 2, the date, and then we'll do the plus time from liftoff, which is actually pretty quick because this was captured just after the rocket would probably only be in the air for maybe 8 or 9 seconds max. Okay, so I'm not good at Photoshop. The actual thing in Photoshop that I actually struggle with a lot, and I use it, I do it quite often, is like how to make text feel like weathered, not like low res. Maybe that's the best way to put it. Like for example, I want this to say cam 1, right? And if we look at our reference, okay, so cam 1, there should be nothing special about this. The font is like sans serif, so probably slightly different than this. Where's my font selector? Yeah, it's probably just something like really I was gonna say like very NASA, like very just like simple. Is it like just Arial, like Times New Roman? No. It's just a pretty standard font. There we go. Yeah, this might work. Okay, let's just go with this for now. Okay, so let's use this kind of green font. Like that. And then super low on that, whatever that's called, tracking. So now, like, I look at this and I'm like, okay, that looks close. Like, but it's not, I mean, I know this image is, maybe it's a little shadow around it. Maybe it's a little bit bolder. I know, I actually did this on another, I did this kind of recently. What did I do? I added some type of filter. Anyway, let's just get it on here. Okay, so cam 1. I don't know if it makes sense to do this in one layer. Probably easier. Okay, so cam 1. What's the format? 0304. I don't have an exact date. We'll say 11/29/254. It's smaller. And what was the last one? There must be H-show. What is it H0 plus 40? What is H0 plus in AESA launch space? There's got to be a name for it. Can't tell what it says. Space. Curious what the SpaceX one is. There's a SpaceX launch, so after they launch, they scratch it. Okay, so there's the launch. It's a T plus, which makes sense. Just curious what the. Hey, look at that. New satellite launch. ESA. Okay, I'm going to just take a quick break, use the washroom, grab a coffee, and I'll be right back. Okay, and then we'll finish this off. All right, I'm back. Just trying to figure out what this overlay is. I'm hoping I can find a launch, but it looks like ESA doesn't really stream launches. Legacy launch, I guess. Okay, this is it's all computer graphics. Is hilarious. Come on, ESA, some video. I need to know what your little. Those are cool things. I need to know what your symbols mean. See, there was the shot right there. Okay, there it is. Something. HO. It's got to be it, right? HO. Okay, it's... So that must be... HO. Let's go ask ChatGPT, see what I can find. What does HO with a timestamp mean in the context of space launches? I see it on the ESA's live stream. Figure out what it is. Let's see what it tells me. Okay, hour 0. I love it. It makes total sense. Let's learn something new every day. Okay, I love it. That's sick. So HO is hour 0. So we're going to go H0 plus, oh, I guess we'll do H0 plus, why was that? Why was the 0 so much bigger? That's really weird. Oh, I didn't see it over there. Okay, it's probably the font. We'll change the font. Plus, I'm going to say it was like 13 seconds. It's really low. I feel like 13 is a good number for this. What were they? Plus 47. Plus 13S. Plus 13S. Okay. Let's try some other fonts. I don't know. I'm just going to try something just to see. You know, it's like what would you would use in a, you would use whatever is like the simplest. I hate fonts. If someone just do an AI font, I don't even know sometimes like how you describe what you want. You know? Which is probably gonna be like one of the standard, like Calibri looks pretty good. Yeah, this might be all right. Maybe a little bit bigger. Go 48, and then center this here. Just in case we have to change fonts, I don't have to do all of them. I think this might work. Let's say like that. It's not bad. Okay, so then let's duplicate this. Sure. And then we'll say cam 2. I don't know, like the ESA one only had it on this one, which I thought was odd. So I'm going to put it on both. I know it's kind of redundant, but I think that's the way to do it. And then I just need to figure out how to make this sort of like pixelated. You can add a filter probably to it afterwards, right? Yeah, I don't know, we'll just keep it at like 50%. Okay. I like this. Now, I think all I really want to do is probably increase the canvas size. Let's go 1750. That was probably too much, but we can crop it after. And then let's fill that. And then let's bring all these together. Group them. And then, of course, why would that work? Of course. Why would that work? Okay. Group. There we go. So I think we probably want to leave like a nice border. And then I'm going to try to get the logos. So what I was going to try to do here is utilize the logos that I've already made. And I was going to see if I could get them into like kind of a... I was going to try to get them into a... like a format of like a black and white, obviously, like kind of like the how this is. So like it looks like embossed black and white. That's what I'm guessing. I don't know. We're gonna see. So first of all, I just want to see if it can remove the background. I don't know how well it'll do this. Wow, Photoshop, you are pretty impressive. I feel like that's the easiest thing to do with all the AI stuff. Like, shouldn't you just be able to, like, it's all one color? Why would that even be difficult? I'm just gonna battle Photoshop forever. This is also one of the worst things. Like, why not? What's the downside of bringing this like full screen so you can actually see? Is that it? Does that show? The grayscale, does that show what I'm... Okay, that's good. Can I just have a regular? Black matte, okay. Fine, we'll go grayscale. So probably this will be good. Maybe even a little bit less. Okay, delete. Cool. Okay, so Yeah, I think this is probably gonna work. Let's just try it. So we'll put this down here. I guess so if we put that there. Okay, so then what do? I go filter, I guess? Adjustments. This is like very weird. Sorry, this music is driving me nuts. So, okay, oh, right. So, double click it. And then I should, okay, so I know I can do the emboss thing here. Of course, I can't really see it. Of course, I can't zoom. Yeah, that actually kind of looks good right there. Yeah, actually, I don't think I need to even do that. I think that was probably perfect. Okay, and then to do a hue saturation, there's like, you think you hit like, yeah, there it is. I think that does it. Still got color? Yeah. Okay. I'm getting good at Photoshop, ladies and gentlemen. Not really, but... okay, so now I can control the hue saturation and the lightness. Just kind of want like that. That's perfect. Okay, and then I have a mission patch. This might be a little bit aggressive. I don't know. Is there a way to just like turn it down a little bit? I don't know. Okay. What do we want on here? So there's ESA, basically the 3 ESA, the launch. I only think I have 2. Let me go see if I can find this. I probably have something else. Yeah, this is probably the... It generated a bunch of them. This was, I think, my favorite. And it obviously has some mistakes, but hopefully my brilliant Photoshop can fix that. Okay, so let's grab that. Source. Okay. Oh, I can just feel how much this is gonna suck. Okay, so I feel like I'm just not gonna be good at this. Okay, so I need to get rid of an X here. Let's duplicate this layer. Okay, I'm gonna do this in under 10 minutes. Okay, so we'll duplicate this layer as a copy. We're gonna edit, fill, and we're gonna select a color, and we're gonna pick, I think it's probably just black, but we'll pick that. And then we're gonna fill in all, we'll get rid of Exodus, get rid of all the letters first that are Exodus 2 orbit, should be this one. Orbit. Okay. So now we have no, the letters are right. And then I think what we can do is add another layer behind and fill. Same color. And then I think I should be able to just like cut and paste these. So this, right? Well, I think one thing that would be helpful is I think if I cut it, the smaller I cut it, I just think it'll be easier for placing it. Close. Okay. Right, so I just kind of space them, hoping that it doesn't, that it all kind of works. So how do you rotate? Is there like a shortcut? Why would I ever want? I was hoping there'd be like a shortcut. So hopefully that works. And then of course it's going to select that layer. It's not going to work. Okay. We'll rearrange them after. All right. This one. So now we can grab these two. Man, this is one place where I mean, OpenAI has gotten pretty good. You just sometimes when you do this, this is obviously like really impressive, honestly, because even Midjourney and other ones, they can't nail text. So the fact that it got X's to orbit, and then it got Earth orbit, like it's pretty impressive. It just sucks that there's no like easy way to fix it. Maybe a Photoshop person would be like, oh yeah, this is child's play. But for me, you get into this sort of annoying kind of work. Oh yeah, I thought there was some type of shortcut to orbit. So what I'm going to end up doing is hopefully cutting that out and just bringing it, up a bit, and hoping that the 2 should be in the center, and then this T, hopefully this T. I'm gonna have to get my my Wacom tablet out one of these days for my photo editing, like Photoshop and Lightroom. Photography days, I used to use it quite a bit, and I haven't really used it in a while, but it would be really nice to have. Okay, so now we got the full words. So now I really just probably need to bring Exodus up and orbit up a bit to center it. So I'll just take a risk. Let's just, fine, we'll just duplicate this. I always am halfway between working destructively in Photoshop or not. I just find it to be, I wish there was sometimes a little bit easier to just, it could just kind of handle both. Okay, so if we merge these together, and then this is the copy, so I think we merge these together. Now we should have a clean layer that we should be able to select, the whole word. Okay, and then cut, paste. And now I just got to kind of manipulate this just to give it a bit more spacing. Seems probably pretty good. That's how you spell Exodus, right? Yeah, okay. Maybe a little bit. That's probably pretty good. It's hard to see. Yeah, I think that's going to be okay. And now we'll grab orbit. Paste. So funny, like why does it paste over there? It's kind of an odd thing. Okay, so what we say like that. It looks a little, you know, it looks a little goofy, like format-wise. It would obviously not have that much spacing, and you know, we could space out all the text. But I think for now, I think that's pretty good. I don't think for what we're doing, it's going to make much sense. Okay, so then this all stuff is great, and then let's just do low Earth orbit. That's what we want. So really, this is where it gets really difficult for me, is like what to do now where there's like where I don't have the letters and I don't know the font, right? So if I want to do a W, I don't have a W. Don't think I have an M. Suppose I could kind of just make a W out of, you know, what's the closest thing to a W? I could just grab the T's and try to do it. It's just kind of annoying. I guess I could just grab the L. Okay, so let's try this. We'll grab the O. Low. Okay, and then let's try to do a W. So we're going to try to grab like part of this. Oh, and I think those that saw me do this last time, it's like I was just like down to the pixel level to try to do this, because you end up, right? So it's hard to know. Right, like you get into this kind of stuff. Low. And then you change the font. So I don't know, we'll see. Right? Gets kind of ridiculous. I wonder if there's a trick. Like, you know, it's one thing I've really tried to avoid, and I would like to continue to avoid it, which is like, you know, going deep on, like, I don't think I've ever watched a Photoshop tutorial in my life. Like, I'll look up something, you know, to see how to do it, but I'll never watch, like, the way that I watch, like, Blender tutorials or Unreal Engine or, like, Stability AI. Like, it's pretty crazy how much of my life I spend watching videos, learning how to do, you know, 3D stuff or kind of anything that I'm interested in on the art side. But I really refuse with Photoshop, and I really don't want to go down that path, and it might be hurting me in my ability to sort of, you know, maybe do some of these things quickly or whatever. Like, I know enough to get around, but I definitely don't, you know, like, what's the trick to quickly making text where, you know, like in this situation, oh geez, you know, in this situation where, you know, I just, oh my God, what happened there? So where are my layers? How could these possibly be lower? Oh no, they're higher number. What's this one? Okay, so these are my layers. Okay, there we go. we have a W? We can probably bring it down a little bit. Okay, hopefully that's it. And then we get rid of this. Fill. Dang. Okay, and then we might as well merge all these, right? No. Merge layers. No. Oh, because it's... Okay, let's just merge all these. Merge layers. And now we can... we'll just cut this out. Okay. Just to kind of have it a little bit more centered. Okay. Low earth. And that should be easy to change to a B, right? So this is actually not going to be bad. It's just spacing might be a little bit off. Okay, so then we get rid of all this. Fill, bang. Grab whatever that is. Bring that over. Right? Probably grab that. Maybe just give it a bit of a tilt. Okay, that looks pretty good. And then we just need to change. Hopefully this is a really easy one. I can just go and edit that. So sample it. Looks like there's a combination of white and a yellow color. I probably could just do it like this, to be honest. Pretty sure I could just, this resolution, get text to look pretty decent. And then, you know, I can just grab that and probably just give it a tiny, tiny bit of a... Again, why is it jump? Just bring that down probably a tiny bit. Okay. Cool. And then let's merge. You know, like even just like simple things, like there's got to be like a way to just like, can you just, yeah, merge this group, right? Well, now it moves it out of group, but anyway. Okay, so, oops. Let's grab that. And then cut, paste. And then give it a little tilt. I think that's probably pretty spaced. Probably say that looks pretty good. Yeah, low Earth orbit. Okay. You know, looks okay. Not perfect, but the fact that Exodus is bigger than orbit, maybe the only thing that's sort of just jumping off the page at me is just this 2. I don't know why. It's just sort of tilted. Must be like a paste to cursor situation or something like that. Okay, sweet. Okay, so now shouldn't need, hopefully we don't need anything on this. So let's just, okay, well let's keep, fuck it, let's just merge the whole thing, flatten image. Bye. Okay, so now we got our whole thing. So now we can copy it and we can put it here. Awesome, good job. Why wouldn't that copy? Because paste. There we go. Looks pretty good. Okay, so we have a mission patch. Whole thing's black and white for some reason now. So I don't really understand this at all. Okay, can you add like an effect to a group? Is that a thing? Like if I group that, can I add? Oh, let me do it. Okay, no. Only does the layer below. Is that the deal, Photoshop? Okay. 62%. I don't know if the bevel emboss is necessary for this one. Okay, so this I think is okay. I gotta add one more thing to this, and I don't really know what to add, to be honest. So we have our Cosmoport. Oh, we need like an agency. Okay, this is where it's gonna get weird because people are gonna get mad at me, but this is supposed to be a Russian Chinese. Russo-China Space Agency. This is crazy. China National Space Administration. Oh, this is this is actually real. This is crazy. This is so crazy. Sorry, I gotta read this. This is actually kind of like, weird. Oh wait, pretty awesome. Okay, so the Chinese National Space Agency and Roscosmos, which must be the Russian, the State Space Corporation? Wait. Oh, this is all China? Oh, the Russian Federation. Oh, this is like the actual contract. Okay, here we go. China National Space Administration, the People's Republic of China, and the State Space Corporation Roscosmos, the Russian Federation, hereby referred to as the parties. Taking note of experience of the People's Republic of China and the Russian Federation in the areas of creation of space technology, space science, and space application. Nothing to do with military. Acknowledging mutual interest in the construction of the International Lunar Research Station for peaceful exploration and use of the moon. Guided by legislation of the respective country, generally recognize rules and principles of international law, international treaties which their state are participants based on the principles of equity, openness, integrity. Yeah, right. Generally release the following statement. Okay. The ILRS, a complex experimental. This is really cool. Like we can literally email the Department of International Cooperation of the Chinese. This is amazing. I think I'm just going to use their logos. I think it's going to be a little bit, but I think we're going to just use them. Actually, that might get me in trouble. Okay, let's see what ChatGPT. Can you read this and make a logo symbolizing the joint space agency between Russia and China? Let's see what it comes up with. This was sick, by the way. I really was thinking about doing this. Again, it comes down to like what you can do with this stuff. This actually is pretty good. I'm going to save this one. I had seen this before, but I didn't maybe quite notice it. It's just really the way the design, it actually, it's all spelled right, so I could extract that out, I think, pretty well. It's really cool. Okay, let's see what this thing does. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's awesome. It's so awesome. Oh my God. Look at this logo. This is so great. I love it so much. You have no idea. It's just like, it's the best. Look, it's just like the Chinese flag, the Russian flag, the moon, another moon, some weird stuff, some stars, a space station, another space station, a rocket, an eyeball, the sun, a Pokemon ball, a logo again of Russian flag, the Chinese flag in this ball, some random stuff, a rocket. It's perfect in every way. I love it. I love it so much. I'm definitely using this. I'm not even going to do another one. People can watch this stream and just laugh at how excited I am about this. And I'm like, obviously this is, I almost called it fan fiction, which makes it sound really bad. But, the idea here is that this is, I have a story. There is a point to all this. And I don't want to like fully, give it away, but like in my little world that I'm making up. Okay, what happened to my Photoshop files? Whoa. Why does it need the whole name? Okay, anyway, in my little world I'm making up, just think of it this way, like, kind of a little bit of civilization, potential bad stuff happening. Think about, like why maybe there would need to be using a spaceport in the middle of Russia and China. Kind of thinking a little bit of some of the things that could happen in the world, and it's just kind of a fun experiment. Or that did a good job. No, it's just kind of like fun to think about. That the last kind of usable space station would be this like project between Russia and China where they built the damn thing in the middle of the mountains where nobody could find it. That whole storyline is like very, very exciting to me. Okay. So what do we do here? We go adjustment, hue saturation, kill the saturation. Oh, bring maybe the lightness down, and then just drop it like that. I think that does it. This needs like a like contrast. Right? Probably like that will do it. And then I think that fixes it. They look pretty close. I mean, I want them to look like they're on a screen though, and I don't really know how I would do that. So let's just rename this. So this is Russo China. This is Exodus to orbit. And this is why were those other ones so easy to rename? I feel like this is like a Windows thing where you click twice to rename something. I just hit the rename. I can't do any of it. I can't rename any of these. Okay. So hey, was it Afri Sensei? Hey Afri Sensei, how you doing? You a Photoshop expert? Help me out. So what I really kind of want to do is I think I just need to bring down the brightness of this one. And then if they're going to be really close then. Right? So if I kind of bring that down, they're pretty close. And then I could do the same thing with this one. What just happened? Oh, shit. Oh, just zoomed in. Okay. Brightness and contrast. Okay. I think that's pretty good. Okay, so how can I make all three of them feel like they're more like, see, this just looks like, it just looks kind of like they're, I don't know. It's like the fact that it looks bad is what actually makes it look good. That makes sense. So can we just like merge all this together, group it? Is it all grouped? Okay, so then should we be able to just move this all at once? Nice. Okay, so let's bring this size down first. Let's bring this kind of here. Maybe a little bit more. I think we're going to separate these and put the white around it too. It has like a bigger border. It's just a weird, it's kind of like the live stream. Okay. Cool. Okay, let's just leave it for now. We'll figure out a way. I mean, maybe there's a filter. So this is how my brain works. I'm like, let's leave it and then. Sure. I want like a digital blur almost, you know? Pixelate maybe? Is there a pixelate? No. Oh yeah, there is. Why is there so many pixelates? Crystallize? No. Although that might be good for the text. Maybe it just needs like a low capacity, something like that. I don't know. Okay, we're gonna figure that out. Okay, so we have this is the logos. This is the text, and these are the images, right? Look at me all organized in Photoshop. Images. And this is background. Okay. So the images, I'm kind of tempted to move them, like to give like a bit of a gap. I think that will look better. And then the text, bring that centered. Okay, that looks fine. Maybe right up a little bit. Cam 2, maybe up. Okay, I think that's all right. I kind of dig this. Like, it's so different, right? Like, it's so, I think I want to try the white border. Can you do that by like just double clicking? What? No. Why did oh my God, you gotta be kidding me. Okay, can we save this? Save as Photoshop. Also, by a side note, like, I don't understand cloud documents at all. I've saved stuff to cloud documents. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So stupid. Okay. So what am I trying to do? I'm trying to maybe add a border. So is it like do I have to go to like filter, layer? Isn't it called layer? It's called, do I have to rasterize it? Photoshop, I can't even tell you. It's just like it's a smart object thing. It's like, well, why? Just handle it. Create backups if you have to. Like, it's unlimited space. Like, if I want to like do something to an image and I can't do it unless it's a smart object, convert it to a smart object and keep the original. Like, it doesn't make any sense. so it's not layer style. What is it? When you double click on a layer and you to add something. See, now it's like gone to this. So stupid. Okay. When you double click on a layer, it's called what? It's like one of these options. Blending options? Yeah, okay. Blending options. Okay. Outer glow. Yes. Yes. God forbid you can zoom in when you're... Okay, perfect. Outer glow. Outer glow should work. Full opacity. Full spread. Yeah, there we go. Like three pixels maybe. How's that look? I think that's good. Outer glow. Full opacity. Oh, it saved it. Okay, nice. Okay, I like this. I'm digging it. There's still a little something that's bothering me. I kind of want like a live... Okay, I kind of want a live... like a live... Like you only see them on the launches. The watermark is actually kind of cool. But I only see them on the... I think on the SpaceX launches. This is crazy. I didn't even know that they have live cam at Boca Chica. 360 video. That's cool. Oh, this is wild. Where did they put that? Oh, this is super crazy. Look at this. When did this come out? 8 days ago? This is nuts. That would be crazy to watch in VR. Look at the rocket, eh? Yeah, it's nuts. It's just kind of these overlays. I don't want to do any of this speed altitude stuff, but I feel like just a live overlay would be the best way to find that. Just like just gonna try to find an example. It'd be nice to find anyone that has. Yeah, this is crazy. This is like, this is 14 years ago. Little NASA logo. It's cool. This is, I didn't see this one before. This one would be really cool to get some inspiration from. The way the rocket fuel and stuff comes off this thing is so crazy. It's not crazy. Maybe I don't need it. I'm kind of digging it. I'm just like looking for little things that any like little mistake or issue. The only thing is popping up in my head is about just just these logos are still kind of bothering me a little bit. And maybe that's all I need. Maybe they just need to be, drop down like this, like it's almost they look. Yeah, I think that's all it is. Just like if at 100% they overpower everything, right? But if they're just kind of on there, there's like a little bit of I think that's kind of it. I think it's it. Okay, I gotta see what this looks like not on my OLED monitor. That's the other thing. So I'm just gonna export because it always messes me up. It always looks way too faded when I bring it over to like an iPhone or something. So I'm just gonna bring this in. And then if this is done, that will be it. It's a good resolution. And I'll just call it a stream if this is going to work, and then I'll upload it, get it up and running. Okay, let's see. I'll drop it in Dropbox. Why my Dropbox doesn't start? Got so many freaking things that start on Windows that I don't want. For some reason, Dropbox is one I do want to start. Start Dropbox on system startup. Okay. So weird. Okay, hopefully this comes in soon. Okay, there it is. Save image. See how she looks. Turn off my night shift. Could be maybe a little bit more punchy, but it looks like security cam footage. I like it. I'm going to ship it. There it is. So you guys can kind of see it. I don't know if it will translate. Probably not very well. But yeah, you see it on the screen anyway. So that's it. That's this is going to be called Exodus, I think. And I'm pretty pumped about this, to be honest. So we have kind of the series now, just to kind of share. I think I'll probably wait till tomorrow. Tomorrow is a big one. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm trying to recreate a metahuman that I did at the beginning of this project. So if you take a look at the whole thing, I'll just sort of walk through this really quickly because I think this is going to be really interesting if I can pull it off. I'm a little bit nervous about it. But I did this thing at the beginning, a little inside baseball. This was originally going to be like a high-res metahuman talking to the camera. And when I animated it, this one I tried, I really was doing this in 24 hours. I did something in Unreal Engine where I locked in the face. So the mouth was moving, but it lost like all that movement of me like kind of talking, and to the camera, it makes it feel lifelike. So when I had it rendered out, it was like, it just didn't look good. Like the quality looked good, but one thing, my face didn't fully scan from before, like when I did this originally. but also it just felt like it's obviously very robotic because something broke. And it was me trying to get the like body and the face all connected. So anyway, I want to redo it again, but what I want to try to do is use AI to like take my likeness, which is like, this is a real scan of me. It looks weird and different, but I mean, that's me. I want to do like a more like an AI interpretation of it. So I want to upload my own images to the model, have it generate an AI version. Like people have done that with headshots. And what I want though is a white background with my face from like this angle, this angle, this angle, this angle. Like you need all the sides, because then I'm going to bring into Blender and turn it to a 3D model. And I'm hoping the quality of that scan, because we did it originally, the way you do the metahuman stuff, the typical way to do it is you take like a 3D scan with your phone. So it's not actually very good. And I think like high quality portrait shots, straight shots from each angle are going to be better. So I found a plugin that I paid for that will actually convert those multiple photos to a 3D model. And I think it's going to be better. So that would increase the quality. Then when with the metahuman, we can bring it back into Unreal Engine, and I'm hoping it's going to be a lot better. What I wanted to do, which is so ambitious, like every time I think about this, I'm like, what are you doing, Matt? Because what I want to do now is I want to do this shot. I don't even know if I have a reference for it. Let me go see. I don't. It's on my phone again. Let me just go see if I have it on Discord. It's a very specific shot. It's like this. Well, I guess I have two versions of the shot. By the way, there's some really cool ones I really thought about doing. And I honestly, sometimes I'm like, maybe I should have. This is one of the ones this is what I was partly kind of thinking. So this is Yuri Gagarin, who was the first person in space. So it would be really cool to recreate this. Now, he's kind of looking outside of a window. If you go look at his spacecraft that he was in, it actually had a window. So he'd be looking out. So I kind of wanted to reproduce this because it's just really cool. Like he doesn't have, like, I don't think he has a helmet. I think it's just like open, and he's got this like cool thing. And, you know, if you could recreate this image, I thought that would be really a cool tribute. So that was one idea I had. And then the other one was kind of like this style, which is like more like looking out, you know, out the window. But I was wanting to do one with some, like a person in in an actual like spacesuit kind of thing. Just trying to see if I had anything else. I think that was the main ones. This was an idea. I was really thinking about doing this. This I thought was really, really cool. I just, you know, you're just getting into kind of a tough territory. Like, it would be interesting. It might be something worth trying later on, but it would require me to get like the terrain for the mountains again, bring it down to scale, try to do the clouds, the blur, and then do like a big long simulation for the smoke, which would be pretty complicated to do. This is like I think a composite. It must be. Maybe not. I don't feel like either. Yeah, it must be a composite, because if you look at the smoke down here, it looks like it's still on fire, and then it's smoke all the way up to here. I don't think that it wouldn't leave a trail like that. I'm pretty sure it's a composite. And then with the background, it's a very cool shot. It's just like, it'd be fun to kind of make. I think that's it. But basically it's kind of like, if we look at all the images, it's kind of like looking for something in this territory, like low Earth orbit, like this view out the window, not quite here, because this is kind of like you're up. This is kind of it. To get the orbit, get the atmosphere, and then but get like a window seat. And it's like I was almost thinking that might be what it'd be called, like window seat. So some combination of this and this and this. Basically, these three things together, if I could kind of combine, that was going to be my next one. And I was like, well, I really want to do the metahuman. What I might do is if I could get the 3D model of myself, I might just do it. And maybe I'll do like, there's a shot. Here we can just we can have a little fun here before I go to bed. Famous space movie screen grabs. I wanted to do this, which is go on a full, like see this. This to me was one of the best. How do I just get that image? I guess I could just try to grab it. Yeah. This is incredible, right? Like this, the reflections, the spacesuit, the whole thing. This would be a really fun shot. In Interstellar, I found that the reflections on the helmets were pretty incredible. So that's a good one. Yeah, they did a really good job with that. Just the way that the light was reflecting off the helmets. I don't know if there was any other movies that did. What was this one? Is this close? No. Wait a minute. It's annoying that I don't know what movie is that. Brad Pitt? What freaking movie is that? Ad Astra? What? How do I not know? There's a movie called Ad. Am I totally out of the loop? I think my internet connection just got killed. I don't know if this stream is even going to be working right now. No kidding. 2019. Wow. Well, goes to show you how much I pay attention. I've never heard of this movie. Anyway, the point is the spacesuit. We're getting off track. Just like looking for interesting, like that kind of composition of the suit, and then you get kind of the reflective version, and I think that it could do something that was really like a good combination of reflective and see-through that I think would end up looking really good. And I don't think that any detail, like even if I couldn't do the full metahuman, I think it would look all right. But the metahuman would be awesome, and it would be also very, very cool to do this on Unreal Engine, because I do want to try to make a switch. And there's been a big part of me that wants to get all the space stuff in Unreal Engine, because I've been talking about it for a while, and I've been like bouncing back and forth between Unreal Engine and Unreal Engine and Blender, and I really wanted to sort of do some more stuff in Unreal Engine in this series. Yeah. But anyway, that's the idea. It's just basically this combination of, these kind of modern spacesuits with that, and that. That's what we're essentially working for. So I'm going to go ahead and upload this image. And that marks the end of this one. And then tomorrow we'll start working on the next one. Okay. Thanks guys for joining. See you again tomorrow.